Oh, yes.
And I'm going to sit in front because I wasn't registered. I said, and I'm Pat too.
Okay.
And I'm a Mercy associate, so we're connected.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome.
Good morning.
Bienvenidos a todos. Is the translation working okay? Thumbs up from folks. This translation, are the machine? Do you guys have the machines? Let's see. Darius, can you hear that? Do you hear the translation? Is it working okay? We'll just give it a quick minute here. Make sure that Isabel, you're good. Darius, good. Okay, good. If you have any questions with the translation sets, please come and see us over here in the corner or find Sister Martha. So excited that we're all gathered today. It's good to be together, and we've got folks from all over the state with us, so thank you for making the trip out to see us this morning. To get us started for this second annual Assembly for Human Dignity, I would like to invite the Detroit Cristo Rey High School Circle of Support to start us in a prayer.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kim Redigan, campus minister at Detroit Cristo Rey.
I'm Jim Dwyer, a teacher at Detroit Cristo Rey. Together, with other colleagues, Kim and I have the privilege of accompanying our students' Circle of Support. We will begin prayer by playing O Come, Emmanuel. Please sing along with us.
I can't sing. Just fake it then.
And mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appears. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to you, holy wisdom from our heart, who orders all things mightily. To us the path of knowledge show, and teach us in her ways to go. Rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to you, holy Israel.
Each Sunday in Advent, we light a candle on the Advent wreath. In a dark season, these candles represent our hope, love, joy, and peace as we await the coming of our Savior. In our violent and divided world, we also wait, but it's an active waiting as we co-create a society where hope, love, joy, and peace are possible. Together, we run out into the darkness to bring light out to those on society's margins and to one another. Let us take a moment of silence now to hold present in our prayers all of those who are fleeing war and violence of any kind.
Our students will now share a word about how they have encountered hope, love, joy, and peace through their experiences with Strangers No Longer. While we're only halfway through Advent, they will light a candle for each of the 4 weeks that, as we anticipate the continued journey together.
Hello everyone, I'm Evelyn from Detroit Cristo Rey, I'm 11th grader, and this year I experienced hope when, together with our circle, I was able to help a family from Honduras who needed a little extra love and support. Hello, I'm Katya. I'm from Detroit Cristo Rey, and I'm a freshman. This year, I experienced love when people came together to make advocacy butterflies for the walls of our high school. By raising awareness like this, we help immigrants in need.
Hello, my name is Christina, and I go to Detroit Cristo Rey. I'm a junior this year. This year, I experienced joy when I was able to advocate for a driver's license for immigrants, went to Lansing, and shared our stories with state representatives and senators. I will now light the pink candle.
Hi, my name is Allison. I am a freshman this year at Detroit Cristo Rey. I experienced peace when we are all open and willing to hear each other out and work together. We now invite you to take a moment in silence to reflect on what has brought you to hope, love, joy, and peace this year.
Thank you so much, Cristo Rey, for opening us up in this prayer. I'll invite you now to take a seat. And I'd like to invite up now the members, leaders of our circles of support who are going to lead us in a memorial. We lost several loved ones this year from our circles of support and our Strangers No Longer network. And so to continue our morning prayer, we want to remember these loved ones. So I'm going to invite Martha to get us started.
Hello, I am Sister Martha de la Torre, and I am a staff member of Strangers No Longer. Today, we honor little Amaris Bolaños Luna, daughter of Joana Luna, who is a member of Circle Mujeres Bajo la Protección de Dios. Amaris passed away August 11th after her lifelong illness. Amaris was born with a heart condition, and in her short life, she underwent 4 heart surgeries. Despite her condition, she was filled with life and was a little warrior battling for her life. Thanks to Matt Children's Hospital, she lived for 4 years. Her parents did everything possible to ensure Amaris lived happily. She was loved by many. Rest in peace, little Amaris.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Irma Landino Obregon from St. Anne de Detroit with Nancy Silveri from Nativity, and we remember Luz Ramos, a strong, loving mother. Leaving her beloved parents and home in Guatemala, Luz traveled over 1,400 miles with her 2 children to escape violence and threats. Despite loss of vision in one eye and progressive debilitating effects of her diabetes, Luz worked hard at physically demanding jobs as long as she could to ensure that her kids had a home, food, and an education she never had.
Luz succumbed to her disease last December. Yoselin graduated from high school in June. Johnny continues to excel in school. You achieved your goal and can rest in peace. Dear Luz, our friend.
Amen.
I'm Sister Becky from Christ the Good Shepherd, IHM sister. This year we lost our beloved circle member, Elaine Perro. Elaine gave her life to service. She was a retired school teacher, and as such, she began English classes for immigrant women. When she met an undocumented Salvadorian family with 3 children living in fear, she immediately began to provide food, rides to appointments, and anything else needed. She encouraged our circle to help as well. When a Gambian woman and her child needed housing, she took them in. Elaine was on the forefront, writing petitions, making phone calls, writing letters, and prayer. She was a co-founder with Pax Christi in Detroit and Day House. And even to her passing, she served at Manor House in Detroit. We pray that her zeal will live on in us as well.
I'm Rosemary Inslee, and I'm remembering Marie Schimmelfinning. My circle is our Mother of Perpetual Help. Marie brought something special to Strangers No Longer. She and I met when Bill invited us to put together a day-long retreat, and from there we just became friends. She nurtured a group within the Peace and Justice Committee at St. Peter and Paul, and their circle joined in with St. Anne's in hosting burrito breakfasts. I remember going one day and the hall was filled. That supported Strangers No Longer's efforts at accompaniment. Marie brought a generous, open-hearted joining in, and a spirituality that was integrated in everyday life. For those of us who knew her, she brought a warm friendship that we will miss. Although it's a Catholic custom to pray for those who have died, today I ask Marie to bless us and to pray for us, because she's in that cloud of witnesses. And I want her to bless us with that love that never dies.
And continuing in Marie's spirit, we are so pleased to share that a fellow member of Marie's parish, St. Peter and Paul Jesuit Parish in Detroit, Bratha Tan, who's here with us today, he has generously offered $300 match donation in Marie's name. And as Rosemary indicated, Marie was very passionate about accompanying immigrants and walking with those who needed the most support. And so this match donation will go directly to our Families in Crisis Fund, so that that support in Marie's name can continue to most directly reach those who need it. So if you are interested in meeting that match with us today, please come see me, and thank you so much, Baratha, for that really generous donation in her name. So through all these examples of these amazing loved ones, we are called to continue being like them, to run into the darkness and bring that light of hope and love and peace and joy. And today we gather to do exactly that. And we're going to take some time first to reflect back on all that we've accomplished together as a community in 2023. And then we will look forward with new hope, new renewed collaboration into 2024. So Sister Martha is going to close us in our opening prayer this morning with an Advent prayer.
Que el Dios del Adviento esté con nosotros, con nosotras, invitándonos a una ávida expectativa de nueva vida dentro de nosotros y nosotras. Que sintamos la esperanza, que sintamos la paz, mientras esperamos el nacimiento de lo que aún se está gestando en nosotros y nosotras. Que la vida que abrazamos nos haga ser partícipes del Dios de la vida y de la encarnación entre nosotros y nosotras. Que el Dios del Adviento nos bendiga. Amén.
May the Advent God be with us, inviting us to an eager expectation of new life within us. May we know hope. May we know peace as we await the birth of what is yet to be in us. May the life we embrace be a sharing in the God of life and incarnation among us. May the Advent God bless us. All right, thank you everyone for joining us in this moment of prayer this morning. We are now going to transition into our shout outs. And so I am going to come down the stage here real quick. And we're going to look today at some of the ways that we as a community have continued our mission of advocacy and accompaniment and education in our communities to do as the Pope has called us to do and welcome the stranger. And so I'd like to invite Carol Gordos, who is circle leader at Christ the Good Shepherd in Lincoln Park.
Thank you, Amy. Many things that we've done this year is we've invited other parishes downriver. We're trying to expand the reach of Strangers No Longer. So we held a meeting at St. Cyprian's in Riverview. We also held one at St. Mary's in Monroe. We're still waiting and hoping that something will become of these meetings. Okay, we also did a presentation. In our church, we take turns doing Stations of the Cross. So we did a presentation that involved immigrants. So instead of, we actually had it bilingual, so someone would read the prayer, and it wasn't your typical Stations of the Cross. We had posters that people would carry to the front of our church. We would have someone speak in English, and then someone would speak in Spanish. And it was very, very well received because it was something different and out of the norm. So we were trying to bring more awareness to our own parish so that we can help to increase our membership. We did a fundraiser with 2 local businesses. We partnered and they provided us with a percentage of the profits for an evening. And this worked out really, really well. This has really helped us too. We also, our youth group had a car wash. And in the summer, the car wash, what they did is split the funds between Strangers No Longer and another organization in our church. As Sister Becky already mentioned, we did have a member of ours, Elaine, who passed away, who was open-armed to receive a woman from Gambia, Rama, and her small child, her baby. And this was very, just very proud of her. And 3 of our youth group members, excuse me, participated in the immersion trip and went to Traverse City to actually see what it was like to work on the farms and to be an immigrant in this country. And they came to our meeting and they shared this information. It was very moving and very heartwarming to see that that's the future for us. We have such a wonderful, wonderful youth group.
Thank you, Carol. Linda Tamala is here from Christ the King.
Woo-hoo! Thank you for that woo-hoo. 2 days after last year's assembly, a mother from Haiti, along with her 2 children, walked into Christ the King and asked for help. The Holy Spirit did not take long in getting us to respond. We fed, clothed, and sheltered them for 8 months, first in a hotel, then in a small cottage behind one of the parishioners' homes, and finally in Bakita House, a home for immigrants. Parishioners gave or raised thousands of dollars to support this effort. The Circle of Support fought for a building on our campus to be used to house the family. Through the cooperation of our circle and parish, Strangers No Longer, Catholic Charities, our family of parish officials, and our priest, Father John McKenzie. The Archdiocese finally approved the plan, and we proceeded to get the house ready to house immigrants. The house, Paquita House, was officially opened on September 1st. The dedication was celebrated on September 7th and was attended by approximately 40 people, including Sister Donna Markham, former National Director of Catholic Charities. At this point, we have housed the Haitian family, a Colombian family, a Senegalese family, and 2 Angolan families. The work continues.
Amazing, thank you. Next, all the way from Traverse City, we have our wonderful leader, Angélica Ledesma.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Angélica Ledesma. Estamos aquí desde Traverse City, en la diócesis de Gaylord.
Hello, my name is Angélica Ledesma. We're from Traverse City in the Diocese of Gaylord.
Durante todo el año hemos estado trabajando en las licencias de conducir para inmigrantes, al igual que ustedes.
All year we have been working on the driver's license for immigrants, just like you have.
Pero también en noviembre organizamos a 230 personas para nuestra primera asamblea de la dignidad humana.
But also, in November, we organized 230 people who came for our first Assembly for Human Dignity in Traverse City.
Las delegaciones provivían de 15 parroquias.
Delegations came from 15 parishes.
El obispo estaba ahí y estaba muy entusiasmado.
The bishop was there and he was really enthused.
Nuestro senador estatal y 2 representantes estaban allí y acordaron trabajar con nosotros para llevar servicios extendidos de la salud mental a las personas de habla hispana.
Our state senator and 2 representatives were there, and they agreed to work with us to bring mental health outreach services to our Spanish-speaking population.
Escuchamos testimonios sobre la falta de viviendas asequibles en muchas áreas de nuestras diócesis.
We heard testimony about the lack of affordable housing in many areas of our diocese.
También sobre los problemas de salud que están afectando a nuestros residentes de todos los colores debido al cambio climático.
We also heard about health problems that come as a result of climate change and affect people of all colors.
Estamos muy orgullosos de formar parte de Strangers No Longer.
We're very proud to be part of Strangers No Longer. Thank you. Thank you, Angelica, and the whole delegation that came all the way from Traverse City.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Thank you, ladies. And these ladies here participate in the Circles of Support of Immigrant Women, which we'll hear about later. Donald and Justin, 2 more people. So next we have Kathleen. Kathleen Rogers comes from Jesu Parish.
Good morning. I'm really honored to speak to you today. Jim Sweeney and I are the co-chairs of the Jesu Circle of Support. And some of you may not know, but Jesu really was the founding parish for Strangers No Longer. Woo-hoo. At Jesu, our circle meets once a month. Our meetings begin with a potluck dinner, followed by a touch base in which each of us gets the chance to talk about what's going on in our lives. We feel this builds empathy and trust among our members. then our business meeting follows, and they've become very, very lively. I'm really happy to see all the engagement of our members in discussions that we have. One of our parishioners' families offered to host an immigrant mother and her infant daughter when their time with Elaine Peril of Christ the Good Shepherd came to an end. Rama and Ramina are from Gambia, and they have been welcomed into our circle as well. Our members help provide diapers, clothing, and other necessities as requested by the host family. The host family are very, as a young couple with 2 daughters, and one had gone off to college, so they had a 3rd floor kind of suite that Rama and Ramina can use. We recently worked with our pastor, Father Lawrence Snow, to hold a special collection for Strangers No Longer. The broader Jesuit community responded very generously to this appeal. Jesuit had an excellent delegation of its members at the February Advocacy Day in Lansing and at the April fundraising banquet. Circle member June Porter and I coordinated the ticket sales for the banquet. We had exceptional support from the circle leaders at each of our member parishes and schools who worked diligently to fill their tables. Finally, Jesuit has begun the process of considering a partnership with San Mateo, a parish in Puerto Rico that is taking in hundreds of Haitian refugees who are fleeing the effects of climate change and gang violence in their country. This project is in collaboration with the Chicago-based Catholic Extension, and it arose out of a visit that our pastor made on the invitation of Catholic Extension to go to San Mateo and see firsthand what is happening and the really miraculous work that their pastor, Father Olin, is doing to help literally rescue people from the ocean and bring them to his church. Thank you again, and I'm proud to be a member of Jesuit and Strangers No Longer.
Thank you, Kathleen. Next, we're followed by another leader who traveled far this morning. This is Cristina Pineda from Ionia.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Cristina Pinedo y vengo a compartir con ustedes desde Ionia, Michigan. Un logro durante este año ha sido el resultado de la expansión de Strangers No Longer a través del estado de Michigan. A principios del año se formó el primer círculo de hombres inmigrantes en base de la parroquia de San Andrew Besset, y más adelante se formaron 2 círculos de mujeres inmigrantes, uno en Ionia y otro en Halland. ¿Por qué es importante los círculos inmigrantes? Porque hacen posible que nuestra organización ponga en marcha la invitación que nos hace el Papa Francisco de dar la bienvenida, proteger, promover e integrar a nuestros hermanos y hermanas inmigrantes. Junto con los círculos no inmigrantes, trabajamos para llegar a ser agentes de nuestra propia transformación en la realidad que vivimos. Esta transformación va siendo posible gracias a nuestra participación en eventos importantes tales como el Día de la Incidencia en Lansing, apoyando el cambio de legislación Drive Safe, que permite a los inmigrantes contar con una licencia de manejo. Nuestros círculos inmigrantes también trabajan en la organización para contar con una presencia significativa en el banquete anual de Strangers No Longer. Otra manera de avanzar en esta transformación es a través de las presentaciones que algunas de nosotras hemos tenido en las parroquias, en las escuelas secundarias y en universidades. Nuestro sentido de pertenencia, Strangers No Longer, nos impulsa a buscar los medios para recaudar fondos para ayudar a la organización a continuar su misión a favor de las personas inmigrantes.
So Christina says, good morning, my name is Cristina Pineda and I am here from Ionia, Michigan. And a great success among Strangers No Longer has been our expansion throughout the state this year. At the beginning of this year, our first circle of support of immigrant men formed at St. Andre Basset in the E-course. And later, 2 new circles of support began of immigrant women in Ionia and Holland in the Diocese of Grand Rapids. So why are these circles so important? It's because they make possible for our organization the ability to put into practice Pope Francis' invitation to welcome, protect, promote, and integrate our immigrant brothers and sisters. Together with the non-immigrant circles of support, we work to be agents of our own transformation of our realities. This transformation is possible thanks to the participation in important events such as the Advocacy Day in Lansing, supporting the Drive Safe bills, which would allow immigrants to have access to a driver's license. Our immigrant circles also work to have a significant presence in the annual Strangers No Longer banquet. We also give presentations in parishes, high schools, and universities. Our sense of belonging in Strangers No Longer encourages us to look for ways to raise funds and help the organization to continue our pro-immigrant mission. So thank you, Christina. Next, also from far away, we've got Andy McCarthy and Marty Habeluski from Holy Trinity in Port Huron.
Hello, me llamo Andy, and we did a big joyful thing on October the 28th. October the 28th, you may not know, is National Immigration Day. I don't know if it's sort of like National Hot Dog Day or I don't know, but you know, they have, anyway, we had Darice Bartolone come to our parish. We arranged it with our parish pastor to, and he expounded on it at the Mass. He talked about being an immigrant, his parents were immigrants. Anyway, and then Darice got to come up at the end of Mass and just give up. She was amazing. She thanked the church of, like, the whole wide church of the whole America for welcoming her, and it was wonderful. And then we had a prayer. We printed up a prayer, and then we had a coffee hour. And then we also have, you can see, hold that up, Marty, that's, we have a bulletin board at the front of the parish, right in the lobby. We have a bulletin board, and for Advent we have this poster, and we think it depicts, you know, the Holy Family and all refugees who come to us. Yeah, that's about it.
I'm Marty Habeluski, and it took some time, but after repeated efforts, our circle in Port Huron met with the sheriff of St. Clair County, Matt King, who you see in his uniform. And we, both Andy and I, have been advocating for the Drive Safe bills, so, you know, together and separately. And we found out that Matt King is a member of our parish, and he attends our 9 o'clock Mass. How nice is that? He said he was not in favor of restoring driver's licenses to undocumented residents, but he did say that if driver's licenses were restored, that he would want them to state that the driver is not a U.S. citizen. He also said he's willing to continue a dialogue with us and maybe meet, you know, 1 or 2 times a year, you know, with our parish circle of support. It turns out, for those of you that don't know the politics of St. Clair County, where Andy and I live, and we're both from Detroit originally, by the way. Sheriff King is a Republican who had no opposition from a Democratic challenger in any election to date. And Port Huron has a large concentration, in case you don't know this, of U.S. Border Patrol agents who monitor illegal border crossings between the United States and Canada. So this is a vigilant, very conservative area that we live and work in. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marty. All the more important to keep doing the work. Now here, Nice. Next, we'll welcome Mike Kelly, who can share more from our Mother of Perpetual Help.
Yeah, our Mother of Perpetual Help Circle has members from several parishes and faith communities and organizations, and this widens our reach. And we enjoy a very positive support from Father Paul Chateau of the parish, and we're also allied with the Parish Men's Club and have done so in several fundraising efforts, including for a funding for a shelter in Mexico, migrant shelter in Mexico. We work also on other supportive projects, including a bike-a-thon, and all of this work together brings us closer together and gives us a chance to invite others to join our work. We're fortunate in being in close contact with this migrant shelter in the Mexican state of Hidalgo, and which offers food and basic medical care to persons from all over the world who are seeking refuge from intolerable circumstances at home. And this helps us to be aware that there is a universal Christian call to service to those in need throughout the world. The name of the shelter is House of the Good Samaritan, good name, and it is also supported by the Diocese of Tula and other Mexican religious groups, so our embrace is worldwide.
Wonderful. Thanks to our folks in Oak Park and Ferndale. Next, we have Nancy Silveri from Nativity and the St. Charles Detroit parishes.
At our Nativity St. Charles Circle, we have been meeting monthly for over 4 years now, since we began to walk with Luz Ramos and her 2 young children. You heard her story earlier. She arrived in Detroit running from violence in Guatemala. They became part of our family and contributed so much to us. After a long illness, Luz died on December 28th last year. Before she died, she asked us to continue to guide her children. We are keeping our promise along with our guardian angel, Irma Landon of St. Anne's, who you met earlier. We've accompanied Johnny and Yoselin to English classes, to check on their progress at school, to the guardianship attorney, to shop for a prom dress, to Yoselin's graduation, and outings downtown. We have come to love Johnny and Yoselin as our own. Recently, our circle sponsored a spaghetti dinner at St. Charles. The grand finale to our year was the day before Thanksgiving, learning that Luz's deportation case was dismissed, and therefore, the good news, Johnny and Yoselin have an opportunity to get their own visas. Next week, we will celebrate Christmas with them over lunch and look forward to the new year and our new adventures with them.
That's worth celebrating. Thank you, Nancy. Next, we have one of our newer circles of support at Resurrection in Canton with Karen Hogan.
Hi. So in October, we hosted Father David Bursmeyer, and he did a great presentation on immigration and Catholic social teaching that was well received. A small group of Strangers No Longers from our circle hosted December 2nd Advent Diversity Mass and Showcase. So we had that Mass highlighted some of our diverse cultures, including Nigerian, Indian, Russian, Polish, Filipino, and Mexican parishioners in their native dress and doing readings and music. It was beautiful. After the Mass, parishioners had a potluck with over 30 dishes from all over the world, and we had highlighted displays of over 30 countries about their Advent and Christmas traditions. We had diversity passports, and people could go around to the different countries and get stamps after they learned about the different countries. Many additional Christian traditions were remembered, like St. Nicholas, St. Lucia, Epiphany, and these were displayed to show how others in the world celebrated these holidays. A short performance with Polish dancers, Russian guitarist, Las Pasados reenactment, and was enjoyed by the group. And finally, we had ethnically themed gift baskets and that were auctioned off and a free will offering, and we were able to raise over $600 for Strangers No Longer.
It was truly amazing. I was at the dinner, and it was the most incredible experience. So come talk to Karen for expertise.
So just Saginaw Diocese, there's no circles of support there. but we are starting to work with the diocese, and at the diocese, in the diocesan offices, that lady there is the senator. She's Senator McDonald Rivet. She's a Democratic senator. She's all ready to vote for the driver's license bill, but of course has been, because of the region, she's been hammered for that. But anyway, so the senator came, the diocese had a meeting at the diocese with her to discuss the bill. It was a great meeting. So it's the beginning of Strangers No Longer in Saginaw.
Thank you, Bill. Next, we've got Veronica Camarena.
Good morning, everyone. Veronica Camarena. I'm here from St. Andrew Bissett and Ecorse and all the downriver area. And I'm not going to detail everything we have done, but we have welcomed 4 Colombian families this year seeking asylum, got them connected to legal support, got them jobs, and helped them with transportation and acquire transportation. We also help them with their children to get them into school, take them to the doctors, even connected with the parish catechism so that they get their faith going. And even one of the girls got her quinceañera this year. We also got them connected with St. Vincent de Paul, with No Family Without a Christmas. We met every month. We have also made phone calls in case they have special needs. Both circles of support, men and women in our parish, went to Lansing in February. We went to the banquet to support. And some of our members are catechisms, Eucharistic ministers, ushers in our parish. And this Christmas, this Thanksgiving, our father used the collection and donate $500 to our organization. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Next, we have Irma again from St. Anne's, Detroit.
Hello again. St. Anne de Detroit. We went to the Strangers No Longer Advocacy Day in Lansing and met with our elected officials for the Drive Safe campaign. And we made presentations on the Drive Safe campaign and Strangers No Longer in Southwest Detroit. We brought a delegation and a gift basket to the banquet. But more than anything, we worked with families. We provided direct support to our immigrant families, transportation, emotional support, finding emergency dental care, and emergency financial assistance for food and rent and diapers. After Luz Ramos died, we planned the memorial service for Luz, and then throughout the year we worked with Nativity Circle to support her 2 teenage children, Jocelyn and Johnny, walking with them through progress in school, graduation, juvenile diabetes, meeting with the lawyer about guardianship, a successful letter writing campaign to get immigration to drop the deportation orders for the 2 children, birthday parties, and youth counseling about job and schooling opportunities.
Thank you so much, Irma. Next, Sister Val from another one that kind of came from out far, no?
Just north of Detroit, that's all, Romeo, Macomb County. During the last few months at Agape Center in Romeo, we've been striving to help some 80 families that are here seeking asylum from Honduras, Mexico, and Venezuela. The North Macomb Vicariate, which supports a Hispanic ministry, is providing warmth to people, to these families that come to Michigan, and they were here for their first winter. Coats have been provided for many of the families through our Knights of Columbus. Sweat outfits and warm clothing are given through our parishes of St. John and Paul, St. Kieran, St. Isidore, and St. John Vianney. Many families come to our Agape Center pantry and to Forgotten Harvest at our parish for food. We work with the bilingual teachers in the Utica schools to help them, and also the health department to see that all the children are vaccinated and then are able to get into their schools. We translate documents that are needed in the process for seeking asylum. We pick up and we deliver donated furniture to families. Many, when they come up, they are sleeping on the floor, of course, in these apartments. So we do that. And Santa is very busy at this time, helping to support us, provide for these families. And we need your help too. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Val. The next few folks with us come from Ann Arbor, so we've got Hilda Preston from St. Francis, Ann Arbor.
St. Francis is continuing its family reunification program. We sponsor families in Mexico to come to Michigan to visit with relatives who have immigrated here. We provide rides to immigration offices, doctor's appointments, even rides to school when buses aren't available. We provide assistance to victims of abuse, trafficking, and wage theft. St. Francis just received a $1,000 grant from the Catholic Foundation to assist immigrant Latino youth. We had 3 recent wonderful events, Dia de los Muertos, Our Lady of Guadalupe, and the Posada. And I have to say, we're very lucky to have legislators who are all on board for the Drive Safe bill and even sponsoring the bill. And our sheriff, he actually wrote a letter with great support for the Safe Drive.
Thank you. Rosa Luz and Father Bobby from St. Mary's Student Parish, Ann Arbor.
Thank you for having us. We supported the ESL program with tutors. These tutors are, most of them, students from the University of Michigan and resident parishioners. We have more than 50 immigrants receiving English classes every Sunday. We had a pelvic floor care for Hispanic pregnant women workshop that was successful, and we support many liturgy like the Stations of the Cross, Immaculate Conception, the Posada, Pastorela, monthly birthday celebrations, and we are supporting now a young pregnant woman. She is alone with 3 little kids. 5 years old, 2 years old, and 11 months. She is in a vulnerable, critical situation, and we need your help, your experience with this special case. Now, Father Bob.
Last year, we co-sponsored a refugee family from Honduras through the Jewish Family Services, and so the family is doing quite well now, settled here, a family of 5 from Honduras. They're working, going to school, purchased a car, and are now self-sufficient, living in Ann Arbor. We had a delegation of members at the Strangers No Longer Advocacy Day in Lansing, and we had a presentation about the Drive Safe bills at every Mass in early March and asked our parishioners to call their legislators. We support our cultural celebrations. We just this week, as many did, Our Lady of Guadalupe Mass and celebration, people just kept coming and coming, and the food kept coming, and it was amazing, a multiplication of loaves, and really a beautiful celebration for our community. We have a ministry providing rides to legal and medical appointments and material support when requested, and we had a special Mass for World Day of Migration in September, a Black and Blessed event for Black Catholic History Month, including a special Mass and panel discussion, and a Filipino Christmas celebration, and a Hispanic Latino health fair at the parish in October. I think that's enough from us.
Thank you. Ann Arbor's got it going. All right. Sister Grace Keene.
I'm from St. Mary of the Hills in Rochester Hills. St. Mary publicizes all SNL's events throughout the year and connects the works to Catholic social teaching. Our pastor, Father Stan Ullman, is very supportive. He would have been here today, but he's recuperating from some medical concerns. So we use the events at the parish and throughout the vicariate to weave in prayer and advocacy. We create education events that support and incorporate migrants and refugees. And we spotlight the Vatican and the U.S. bishops throughout the year. We're hoping to rebuild our circle of support after numerous staff changes in the family of parishes. We contribute regularly to Catholic Relief Services, to Strangers No Longer, to the shelter in Hidalgo run by the Sisters of Sacred Heart. And this year, our staff, some of the staff, went on an immersion experience to CSEM, which is Catholic Charities of Southeast Michigan, the legal clinic in Pontiac. And we spent the day, heard the stories, got a tour, and throughout the year, we are companioning them. So it was back to school food bag, school packs, Thanksgiving, Christmas adopt a family, baby shower in the wintertime, and on it will go. And we also have from our family some members who participate in the Mujeres circles that are still ongoing. And lastly, to quote the U.S. bishops, we are creating a world where immigrants, refugees, migrants, and people on the move are treated with dignity, respect, welcome, and belonging. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sister Grace. Okay, now some of you know that I get to work with the youth, and so I am personally biased when I say that I think we saved some of our best for last. This is Kaylee Rosso. Kaylee is a student at Cristo Rey. I want to mention that many of our youth, you'll remember last year this place was full of youth. But because our assembly was a little bit later in the year, it's exam season, so it's really hard for students to get out of school right now. However, we've got a couple from Cristo Rey who managed to swing it. And Kaylee is the advocacy chair for our student leadership, the Youth in Action for Migration. Kaylee?
This year, collaborating with Youth in Action for Migration has been incredibly rewarding. We held our third youth conference at Divine Child High School, and us student leaders are now facilitating monthly meetings among our peers. We've undertaken various initiatives to advocate and to increase support within the immigrant community, but two events stood out profoundly: our Advocacy Day in Lansing and our summer immersion trip to Traverse City. Reflecting just a few years ago, I wouldn't have imagined standing among 165 peers before the state capitol, advocating for the Safe Drive bill. Being there to showcase why we cared about the bill and receiving positive responses from our officials showed us that our voices were heard and that our efforts would lead to change. During the immersion trip, we learned about the realities of immigrant farm workers in the region and shared meals with many of them. I felt incredibly uplifted by the people who had come together for this cause. Their passion and their empathy reassured me that by channeling our drive into this cause, we could tackle even the biggest issues. Let's harness this momentum and stand firm in our commitment to foster a more inclusive and supportive environment for immigrants. Together, our voices and actions can resonate even louder, and we can pave the way for a more equitable future for everyone.
Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you so much. And now we have our president of our board, Rosemary Inslee.
Thank you. I asked to do a shout out this morning to the board of directors because they do a lot of work. So I'd like everybody that's on the board or is an alternate, if you would raise your hand so people can see who you are. Daris, you're an alternate. Angelica, thank you, thank you. The board works hard to provide a framework and leadership and financial security for Strangers No Longer. This year, I just want to say a couple of things about what's happened this year. Actually, last year, we decided to make the board membership half from our parish-based groups and half from the Mujeres-based groups. So we have 6 representatives from the Mujeres groups, and we have 6 representatives from the various parish groups. And then we have 3 at-large memberships. So because most of us have never been on a board before, Mary Greshens, who's an international trainer for nonprofits, came and offered her time for free and did a wonderful training in January for us. to give us a sense of what our responsibilities and duties are. Does that mean I just come to a meeting 4 times a year? It's a little bit more than that, is what everybody that's been on the board found out. And so then, because of that, we now have a manual for the board so that new members can say, okay, what does this mean for me? This year has shown us that finances are not assured. So we developed a finance committee to support our treasurer, Jim, and Bill, and along with planning to implement a committee next year to look for further grants so that we can have that kind of underpinning as well as the grassroots funding that you provide. Since we are growing, we have now 6 regions rather than 5 regions because of the development in Traverse City and Ionia, and hopefully next year Saginaw and Holland. Did I remember that? Okay. And because of Amy's work with our Catholic high schools, we have invited youth representatives to attend the board meetings next year so that they will know firsthand what's going on. And finally, I want to express our partnership between our immigrant and parish circles. So we looked at our vision and mission statements. So our new mission statement is, Strangers No Longer is a network of circles of support and individuals inspired by Catholic social teaching who, together, provide education, direct support, and advocacy to promote humane immigration policies.
Very good.
So I'm very proud of the work that the board has done this year.
Thank you so much. And I think to finish off our shout outs here, we're going to invite Veronica back up. Not only is she a circle leader at St. Andre Bessette, but she is also vice president of our board. Veronica?
Thank you, Amy. So as our president, Rosemary, just mentioned, we were running out of funds, and we, Strangers No Longer, we needed to cover expenses for the year for approximately $290,000 a year. We will be able to enter 2024 with some confidence about our ability to continue for another year because of our very successful fundraising campaign. Over the past month, or in our first fall fundraising campaign, we raised over $85,000 from 165 donors. Many hands make light work. We did it. And thank everybody who donated. Thank you everybody who made this happen, who reached out to a friend, who passed out an email. Gracias. Que Dios los bendiga.
Thank you, Veronica. Can I take 10 seconds to do something with folks? Okay, so we've heard a lot. It's been exciting to hear everything that we've been doing. I think we don't share with each other enough the amazing work that we're doing. So I'm gonna say, for the next 5 seconds, if you are physically able to stand up, do so. If you're not, just wave your hands in the air. For those who are standing, let's give ourselves a round of applause. Everyone stand up and give yourselves, to all of you in the room, a round of applause.
So we're going to bring up Father Okeke who's the pastor of St. Andre Bessette, and the question that all these great stories here, wouldn't it be great if every parish in the archdiocese or every Catholic parish across the state was doing this? So I know we're going to have a new archbishop, and hopefully that might happen. So let's take a few minutes break before Father Okeke comes up. Just take a few minutes break, stand up, maybe grab a cup of coffee or grab what you need to, but we're only talking for 5 minutes. But when we come back after Father Okeke, you're going to be able to meet the other people in your region. So on your way to the coffee, say hi to somebody you don't know. Everybody say hi to, meet somebody you don't know. Okay, take 5 minutes.